I'll say it once again, that GR would have had the strongest stand ability had Araki stopped writing JoJo after Part 5. But the fact that Araki didn't stop writing JoJo, and actively chose to retcon revert to 0 being above Star Platinum's time stop in Part 5 shows that the author clearly changed his mind on the subject at least. And even though Jordan was possibly in Florida during the Maidenhead event, and also is he possibly has GR as well, right? With the narrative evidence provided for both Star Platinum and GR wouldn't be able to do anything meaningful because he's just so far behind Star Platinum. But what's that I hear? Coming from the depths of misinformation most of the JoJo community will regurgitate thoughtlessly to transform anyone who can't read or do basic amount of research into brainwashed sycophants for the GR solo song, strongest stand, at least top 3 meta, etc. What they say generally goes like along the lines of them saying,
well, the reason why GR wasn't in Part 6 to stop me in heaven is because Araki knew or thinks GR would win against Made in Heaven. This was all totally confirmed by an Araki's, like in an author's note or interview by Araki after Part 6's ending.
Okay, what if I told you that these delusional GR glazers don't actually know what they're talking about and completely fabricated an interview into the mental cognition of the JoJo community? Like, seriously, nowhere does Araki even state or think that the reason why GR wasn't in Part 5 is because he's solo. Save the day, do your taxes, or whatever. But there is one thing he does say. A secret that the GR fans have tried to keep hidden from the public by creating their own conspiracies on top of it. This is National Treasure 3, Jobber Edition. I'm on the scene. Araki actually did have an interview, or afterward, 6 years later after the end of Stone Ocean's manga run. It's in the Stone Ocean Bunko Volume 1, February 18th, 2009. Araki has this to say about Made in Heaven, and the entire series he's created up until that point, parts 1 to 6. Here's the quote. In terms of stand abilities, speaking from my own perspective, it felt like at the time I had drawn all that I needed to in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean. I felt a sense of creative satisfaction at that the thought that perhaps I had reached the pinnacle of my ideas. Time itself was getting faster and faster and outpacing human senses, approaching infinity itself, or at least as close to as infinity as possible. I think to myself then that no stand ability could ever surpass it. There was nothing more incredible I could draw. My ideas had indeed reached their pinnacle. Another quote. We'll go back to the root. The Italian Renaissance was inspired by the return to ancient Greek and Roman concepts. The French painter Gauguin, I hope I pronounced that right, created a new painting by returning to nature and Tahiti. I hope I pronounced that right too. Oh my god. But we'll make the stand ability of the main villain, Father Pucci, even more powerful. That way, time, the protagonist, and the bloodline itself can make a full cycle of the universe and return to their origin. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure will abandon modern civilization and return to nature. Okay. I'm going to repeat something real quick. Made in Heaven, a stand that makes time itself get faster and faster and outpacing human senses, approaching infinity itself, or at least as close as infinity as possible. Araki thought to himself that no stand ability could ever surpass it. There was nothing more incredible he could draw. His ideas had reached their pinnacle, as that's what he was going for narratively with Maiden and Pucci. And the fact that Araki thinks that no stand ability in the entire series, at that point, could ever surpass Made in Heaven's time acceleration, including time stop, revert to 0, and that Made in Heaven's the most incredible thing he could draw, the pinnacle of his ideas, just says a lot, okay? Araki's thoughts, with or without context, verbatim means that Made in Heaven's time acceleration surpasses all stand abilities up to Part 6. Okay? And if you disagree, you're either a silly Billy or an extremely dishonest individual. Because it would take jumping through some massive logic hoops to try and argue against this. As what Araki says here is identical to the GR, JoJo Go-Go statement people love to just wag in people's faces of Araki saying, GR's attack power surpasses that of existing stands, or blah 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 blah. So, in addition, in Part 6, Dio wanted a stand ability that transcends time stop, and Made in Heaven is exactly what Dio wanted and saw as a superior ability to time stop. Oh my goodness. But anyways, I know some people are gonna get really mad, like, oh, no, apply context real quick. Okay, listen, I'll apply context too, okay, real quick. But keep in mind, it doesn't change anything. Anyways, let's apply context to, like, Araki's statement about Made in Heaven, okay? What Araki specifically means for Made in Heaven to surpass all stand abilities, and why we shouldn't take, everything like hyper literally, because it's a narrative tunnel vision that can remove context most of the time, right? As with context, Jotaro's time stop consistently, completely stops Made in Heaven's time acceleration, right? As well as Made in Heaven Pucci losing to, I guess, oxygen poisoning and fate. In that moment, to be fair, he mainly lost to fate. That wouldn't have happened without fate, okay? But what can be inferred is that no stand ability in the series being able to surpass Made in Heaven's time acceleration is because of the ability being able to challenge time stop in sheer power, shortening time stop's duration at first, and Made in Heaven's ability of accelerating the entire universe's time to infinity, as well as being able to speed blitz Jotaro and Star Platinum before they could even use time stop again. And also being able to do multiple things beyond Jotaro and Star Platinum's perceptions before and after time stop. And also the speed blitz factor, it happens many times in that part when it comes to Jotaro and Made in Heaven, right? Also, there's many moments where Jotaro has to stop time to try and figure out where Pucci is and what exactly is going on, as things are moving too fast for him to track. Finally, Made in Heaven Pucci is the only character in the entire series that is capable of literally killing Jotaro with one fully connected attack, be it to the throat or playing division with Jotaro's head. It doesn't matter. Not even Dio, with the world beating down Jotaro, could do this. The narrative establishes that not only is Made in Heaven Pucci far faster than anything Jotaro and Star Platinum could even perceive, with time acceleration, power just rivaling time stops, but Made in Heaven Pucci is far physically stronger than Star Platinum. And before anyone brings up Anisui just capping by saying Pucci has to pick off everyone one by one, it's a slow registerable process, Pucci's speed in regards to killing Anisui by using Jolene's stand and being able to throw knives at her show that he's capable of doing multiple things at the same time. He could have also killed Jolene as well at the same time if he wanted, but instead of just throwing knives, but Pucci went to exercise caution around Jotaro's ability to stop time, and everyone being meat shields for Jotaro, and Anisui calling the stand's attack power above average here is just meaningless because Pucci isn't attacking them with his stand, he's just doing it physically with his own bare hands. But even if what Anisui is saying is true, that the stand has a B in attack potency, or above average, whatever the hell, I don't know, despite it being able to literally one-shot everything there, including Jotaro, all of them having a far above average attack potency durability, especially Jotaro. It just doesn't sit right, logically and consistently, right? Alright, so in the end of the day, the point is that narratively Araki would have made just GR lose to Made in Heaven. It wouldn't be close. Araki thinks this as well with how he structured the story, and that GR's Revert to Zero ability cannot surpass Made in Heaven's time acceleration ability. No stand ability can. Once again, said by Araki himself, Made in Heaven would be able to shorten the duration of Revert to Zero, also being able to speed blitz and one-shot GR, and in addition to being able to do multiple things beyond GR's perceptions before and after Revert to Zero, Giorno and GR just showing up to just die quicker and faster than Jotaro did against Made in Heaven Pucci just wouldn't add anything to the story Araki wanted to complete in Part 6. As Araki, after Part 6, just feels fulfilled about how everything played out, GR would not have saved the day or solved the problem at all, as even if Revert to Zero had the same effectiveness on Made in Heaven as Time Stop did, GR would have met the same fate as Jotaro and Star Platinum as well as if Araki decided to include GR in the fight, as he once again doesn't think any other stand ability in the series can stand up to Made in Heaven for many reasons. Araki says not even Requiem can surpass the heaven that Dio and Pucci have created.